Welcome back to another video. So in this video, we are going to discuss, do the configuration for the policies now. Now we will be looking at the centralized policy first, then we will go to the localized policy. Now in the centralized policy, what I want to do in the first place is that I want to block. So basically I want to say that 10.1.1.1/32, this prefix should not be able to see by anyone, full block. So that will be my first agenda. So I want 10.1.1.1/32 to be blocked. So no one should be able to see that prefix. And the next is that 10.1.2.1/32. I don't want only branch 4 to see it. I want to block it for the branch 4, but for the remaining branches, for the branch 2, branch 3, and the DC data center, all of these devices should see my prefix. This prefix should be seen by all the devices except the branch 4. Now, while configuring the policy, we do need to keep in mind, and we do have something called as a list. So a list is nothing but you can just say like a feature itself, where you are just creating some objects over here. Now the object can be referred to as like the prefix list, maybe. You can also say the data prefix list. You can also say that the list can consist of the VPNs, sites, color, SLAs. So if I go back to my vManage now, if I go to the configuration and click on policies, and here on the custom policies, if I click over here, you will see in the centralized policy, you do have the list. So basically my agenda is the requirement is that 10.1.1.1/32 should be blocked over my network, in the whole network. So what I have to do is I need to create this prefix, number 1. And number 2, I want to apply it on the sites. Where do you want to apply? So I want to create the sites. And number 3, on which VPN you want to apply it for. So this is what you need to define. Or the VPN may be the optional. No need to match, but these two things you need to match in order to block a prefix. So basically this is like a control policy. Because I am controlling the prefixes now, I don't want this prefix to be seen by any other device or branches. So let's go ahead and configure that one. Let's see how we can configure. So if I go to my topology, so this is where my 10.1.1.0 network is located. So first what I will do, I will go to the prefix and I will create a new prefix that should be, I will just give a name as 10.0.0.1-1-1 so that it will be easy for me to understand. 10.1.1.1/32. Now I'm giving /32 because if you remember that I'm running OSPF routing protocol and the routes which have been shared will be /32. So you have to be careful over here. So click on add. So my prefix list will be added. The next thing will be the site, on which site you want me to apply for. So I'll go to the sites. And now I want to apply it for all the sites. I want to block it for all the sites. So I would say that all sites, and I would say that 1 to 5. These are the sites I have, 1 to 5. So click on add. So if you want to provide some custom sites like 1 to 2, and you want to leave out the 3, you want to go with 4 to 5, this is how you have to define. But since I'm including all of them, so I'm just defining 1 to 5, that should be good. And the VPN, so I will create a VPN, and if you remember that it's a VPN 1, it is located under the VPN 1, so I will say VPN 1 and add. So now once these group of interests are ready, then we can go ahead and create our policy. I will click on centralized policy now. I will click on add policy. So when you click on add policy, you do have option to create inside the policy also once again, but we already created the list, so that should be fine. But you do have an option once you click on add policy, you do have an option to create this again. And the next one will be the click on next. So first here you see that create a group of interest, which we have done. So click on next. So it's telling me that configure topology and VPN membership. That means so that whenever there is a topology in VPN membership, that means it's a control policy. So click on add topology and click on custom control policy. Now this is your policy. Once you create that one, give it a name. So I will say that block 10111 and paste it. So click on the sequence type over here. So click on the route policy and click on sequence rule. And what I want to match is that I want to match the prefix list and I want to match the VPN from it where it is from shared. So I will select the prefix list and I will select the VPN list. And now action, click on action over here. By default, it is reject. So that is correct because I don't want that prefix to be handed over to any other branches. So click on save and match. And now you see that here it says that it's route. So if I click over here, I do have an option to rename that one. And after clicking on rename, remove the name. And now here I can write block all. So basically you can give a name to the rules also, not only to the policy, but also the rules. Now the default action, by default, every time it will be rejected. So you have to make sure that it is accept. So if you reject this means what happens is like whenever the policy is been applied, so it will also reject the other prefixes which have been shared. So you have to allow by default, but for rejecting the prefix, I have given the specific rule over here. So click on save control policy. And now we will move forward from your topology to the configure traffic rules. Now, since we are configuring the control policy, so this is for the data policy. So we do not have anything for now. So we'll click on next. And now apply policy to the sites and VPN. So I will click on, you see that I do have only option for the site, not for the VPN. So click on site and select the inbound. And now why I'm selecting the inbound, because every time when you create a policy, you have to look from the perspective of vSmart. So now this is my branch one, which has the prefix of 10.1.1.1/32. And now it is connected to the OMP. Via OMP, it is connected to the vSmart. So whenever it has any new information, it is going to send it to vSmart directly. Now the vSmart will hand it over to each and every device on your network. Since we are blocking this one, so we told vSmart, hey vSmart, so whenever this prefix is coming inbound to you, reject that prefix and do not share with any other device, any other device on the network. So that's what we are telling to them. So inbound. So now the outbound, when you apply the outbound, when you want to do a partial block. So currently I want to do a full block. So that's why I applied within the inbound, because once vSmart does not have the information, it does not hand it over to the other device. The other thing is that if I want to block only for a certain devices, like for example, branch 4, then what I will do, I will apply this policy on the outbound. And in the outbound, I will define that particular site. So we are going to do that one next. So now currently I'm doing for all the devices. So that's why you have to be careful over here. You need to define with respect to your vSmart. Click on add, click on save policy. It's asking me to give me the name. So I will say that central policy and paste save policy. Okay, it says that central policy with name already exists. Okay, don't worry. So now the policy has been created. So what I have to do is that I just need to activate. So when I click on activate, you see that the policy will be sent to my vSmart. So click on activate. And now the configuration is being pushed to the vSmart. Now, when the configuration is being pushed to the vSmart now, vSmart have all the information about the policy. but devices does not have any information of the policies branches. So they only have the results. So the result of this policy is that they are not supposed to get the 10.1.1.1/32 prefix. So that is what they will get. But on the vSmart, you have all the information about the policies, but you do not have all the information in your branch devices that are edge devices. So on the edge device, there will be only results saying that, okay, you need to block this one. You will be not receiving this prefix. That's all. So let's go ahead and check now. So before that, I want to show that I can see. So what I will do is that I will go ahead and I will deactivate the policy once again, or I will show you first. So I will go to my branch 2. After login, I will say that show IP route. So you see that here I don't have 10.1.1.1. So I will confirm it in the branch 4 also. Okay, that's the LAN. Where is the branch 4? Branch 4 here. Show IP route, and here also I shouldn't see. So basically 10.1.1.1 is missing now from everywhere. So now what I will do is that I will just go ahead and deactivate the policy, and I should again see that policy, see that prefix coming back. So currently I don't see 10.1.1.1 because the policy has been applied, and now I am deactivating the policy. That means I should see that policy again. Now the next one will be, I want to do the same thing now. This one will be my branch 1. And here I do have another prefix that is 10.1.2.1, and this will be shared by the vSmart. Now, what I want is that this prefix should not be propagated to branch 4, but it should be propagated to branch 2, it should be propagated to branch 3, and it should be propagated to my data center. All the three should be having the details, but not the branch 4. So in this case, what I will say to vSmart accept the prefix, but while distributing the prefix, just distribute to data center branch 3, branch 2, but not the branch 4. So this is known as a partial block. So you're controlling this one. So let's verify that one first, and we will go ahead with the partial block. So before I was not able to see 10.1.1 network, and now I should be seeing the 10.1.1 network. See that? I'm able to see the 10.1.1 network after I deactivate the policy. Now, the other thing is that I need to do the partial blocks. I will go back to the policies again. And now I will go back to the list here under the centralized policy. And I will go back to the prefix again and click on new prefix list. And here I will say that 10.1.2.1 and the prefix will be 10.1.2.1/32 and click on add. I already have the sites, but it says that all sites, but I only want to block branch 4. So what I will create a new site list that will be branch 4, site ID will be 4, and click on add. Now I do have already VPN 1 is already been created. So I will go back to my centralized policy now. So I will go ahead and click on edit. And now let's explore this policy now. So once you created the policy, you are unable to create the list again. So to create the list, then again, you have to click on the option which shows over here. But once you created the policy, you do have 3 different things. One is the policy application, one will be the topology, one will be the traffic rules. Now, traffic rules relate to the data policies. Topology will be relating to the control policy. And policy application means you want to apply it to which site, on which VPN, or which TLOGs, whatever made by the option. So where do you want to apply? That will be the policy application. Topology will be we will be creating a new rules over there for the control policy, and the traffic rules is the one we are going to create the data policy. And now I want to create a new control policy. So first I will click on the topology. I will create a control policy. Once the control policy has been created, I will come back to policy application. And here I should see another box which says that you created a new policy, and it will ask me for the new sites. So it will ask me for the new sites where you want to apply those policies. So let's go ahead and create that one now. I will go back to topology and click on custom control topology, click on sequence type, click on route, and again click on sequence role. Again, I will do the same thing, prefix list and the VPN matching. And this time I will select 10.1.2.1 and the VPN list will be 1. And the action will be reject, because I want to reject this prefix only for branch 4. Click on save an action. And again, I can rename this one. So I can say that block BR4. Next default action, again, I need to make it as an accept, and I will give a name as block branch 4 and click on save control policy. And so it is taking time. Right, so I'm done with the topology section. Now I will go back to policy application, and here it will ask me for that particular policy. It is asking for the new sites. And now since I am doing the partial block, this time I will select the outbound and I will select the branch 4 because I am rejecting the prefix. So click on add. Now before I save okay, I will click on save policy because that is not been activated yet. So I will go back to my branch 4 now. And if I go back to my branch 4, if I say show IP route, I should see 10.1.2.1 prefix now. So this is a prefix. So I'm also blocking this one because the policy already have this policy in place. Once I activate, it should be removed. And top of that, branch 4 should also not see this prefix. But if I go to branch 2, show IP route. Now in the branch 2, I should keep seeing this prefix, but not on the branch 4 once I activate the policy. So I will go back here and I will say that activate the policy and I will click on activate. So let the policy be pushed. Right, so policy has been applied. So I will go back to the branch 4 now and I will say that, so previously I was able to see both of these. Now I should not see both of that. And if I say show IP route, and you see that I'm directly seeing 10.1.3.1, I don't see 1 and 2. But if I go back to branch 2, nothing should be changed. Only 10.1.1 it should not see because we block it for everyone. Except that one, we should see 10.1.2.1. You see that I'm able to see 10.1.2.1. And it should be the similar case for CSR DC also. And also for the branch 2 and branch 1. So branch 1, it's already locally resides, so nothing to worry. But branch 2 and branch 4, on the branch 2, we are able to see 10.1.2.1, but not on the branch 4. So that was the partial block, and this was the control policy. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one.